you guys probably know that SMA is changing the business model, the offers, the niches, the way that you book calls is changing. So we thought we'd come on here and just drop some value on what's changing, what's become different, and how you can sort of leverage it to your sort of advantage to start scaling your own agency to a point where you're at 5, 10, 20, 30K a month and you're not working the overglorified 9 to 5 and sort of going down that route. So I guess let's go into it now. As you can see here, this is the Ascendance Creative business model. This is how we were able to generate $13,000 in a single week, and how you can go and do the sort of same as we go into 2024 with the new market and sort of see what's happening.
Cool, guys. So who this training is for, first of all. So if right now you're an agent owner in the market and you're sending countless of cold DMs and you're not getting left on red or not even opened, we've all been there when you just simply can't get your Instagram DMs opened or your Facebook DMs or whatever it is. If you're stressed and worried about where the next client is coming from. So if I was to ask you right now within your business, you should have a good answer on where your next client is coming from. If you were to say to me, I don't really know right now, it's just kind of hope and pray, then this is definitely for you. If you're an agent owner who wants to actually learn how to have consistent and predictable client acquisition, you want to stop charging $800 and charge 3 to 5K up front and kind of learn how you can start leveraging a different type of model within your agency, start pivoting away from selling $600 a month, selling $800 a month, and just keep staying pretty broke, and actually being able to land high ticket clients. And most importantly, you want to build a life you can enjoy, so you can travel the world, not having to worry about clients rolling in, which is the real reason behind why any of us are on this call or doing this in the first place, right? It isn't really about making the money itself. It's about making the money so we can have the life that we want.
So what we're going to cover is how we went from, a lot of you guys may not even know this, is we were definitely in the depths, in the sort of struggles. Our first client was £55 sort of pizza shop management client. And we probably worked harder than a 9 to 5 to land that client. Maybe a lot of you guys can resonate with that, working really hard to get clients that don't even sort of appreciate what you're doing and sort of having it really low ticket. So going from stuck between maybe even just not even getting your first client to now making $13,000 a week and even $7,000 a day. This is the sort of framework on how you can go and do that.
Cool. And guys, for bonus for the people who stay till the very end, the most committed guests, there is an access to a Black Friday discount, of course, and only live actors and watchers can access this Black Friday discount at the end. So first of all, everyone, let us show you kind of the outcome of this model and how it's kind of helping agency owners in similar positions to you when it comes to their ticket price and offer and how they're converting, right? So Xavier going from $0 to $20,000 per month. I'm not going to bore you with many results, just showing you that, this isn't, you need to have intent when watching this, because we're going to be breaking down the free training, Ash signing clients within his first week, and Daniel being able to sign 7 agency clients as well. So like I said, you need to understand that the SMA business model is changing in real time. And that's why, you're doing the old methods that you're watching and the quote unquote proven methods, but it isn't working for one reason.
So the sort of days of sending the cold emails, the cold IGDMs, the scraping the Facebook groups will leave you broke if you don't leverage it in the right way. Now, I'm not saying that cold outreach is completely done, because a lot of you out there, if you don't start with cold outbound, you're never going to be able to get anywhere. It's just how you frame it. And there's a pretty cool thing that we built out recently, and we built it out on side the actual Lucid chart, and we'll go through that in a bit. It just sort of goes over how to actually turn a cold outbound prospect into someone that's more warm and sort of ready to sign on with your service, instead of having to hassle them, try and give them as much as you free value and sort of just chase them 24/7, but actually being able to land them quite easily.
Cool. So guys, I want you to think about it right now. When was the last time you paid someone 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K plus from a cold outbound message? I know personally that my DMs get flooded nowadays. I recently had someone say to me, hey, Luke, I'll literally give you a free short form content offer for an entire month for free. And I was still rejecting it. Right? So without understanding, you have to understand that and go, okay, there's something I need to change here, right? I think someone's mic is...
Yeah, no, I think it's all good.
But it's all good. Never, right? You've probably never done that. Now, some of you are a little bit different. Some of you might be thinking of a scenario where you have done that, but the majority of time, that never, ever happened.
I quickly mute this person Right, should be all good. Right, so instead, what we need to do is leverage a system that works with the content, works with the sort of new digital marketing age, is what you could call it, to make sure that prospects are coming to us. And even if prospects aren't, when we're outbound prospecting, people understand, okay, I can turn into a cold prospect to a warm one, leveraging this sort of system.
Yeah, so this system was probably a system you were put through instead of cold outreach, in the sense that you were put through maybe a Discord community similar to the one we have, or a school community, put onto YouTube content, onto Instagram, and then they send you a message and then they close the client from there. Now, a lot of people have this mindset, and I want to reframe this so that you can actually start thinking positively about your situation. A lot of people think that they can't do this. A lot of people think that they have to be doing cold outreach and leveraging, the old meta, but I'm telling you, there's no reason why you can't play the new meta either, right? Yeah. By just simply,
I just not know.
Yeah, by simply leveraging the new model of SMA.
Yeah, click that. So our question to you is, why aren't you playing the new meta? If everyone is following this, and to be fair, you guys are probably paying people following this method and you're not leveraging it yourself, which to me doesn't really make sense. Why would you be using something that people are teaching but not really using? So let's sort of go into it. This meta will allow you to obviously close high ticket clients predictably and consistently, to make sure that you can pay your bills, you can pay your teams without having to worry like, where is my next client coming from? And as you can see there, making $13,000 in a single week. Travel the world. Obviously, me and Luke are out here in Dubai at the moment, living the sort of dream life that you was kind of sold in the first place, right? When you came on, you maybe watched an E-Man video, Jordan Welch, whoever it was, right? And you thought, okay, this is the life I want to live. But a lot of you are working 14, 15-hour days, just stuck up, cramped in your room. And that's no life to live at all. So this is that system to reverse that and actually come into the business model and do what you were sort of here to do.
Yeah, and for sure. And also get insane client results due to leveraging a good offer and delivery process. So many agency owners that I talk to in the market right now, the main concern, or one of the main concerns they're having, is simply, Luke, I can't deliver my service. How do I dial in fantastic service delivery? And sometimes it isn't actually about the mechanisms you're putting into your service. It's about how you deliver it on the timeline of, what's the process? What's the onboarding like? What access does the client get? Is it just for a 30-day retainer where you just sell a commodity? Because clients don't want to be served like that, right? You have to be able to understand how clients actually want to be served and therefore get insane client results, which is obviously a huge bonus, right? Instead, you're choosing to play the old meta of SMA by 2019 gurus, which in our opinion, you might as well just go get a 9-to-5 job, because at least that's going to be pretty predictable, right? Because guys, when you start, I know a lot of you are young people in here, me and Harvey know some of you, when you actually start living life properly, you'll understand that you need predictable acquisition. You need consistent acquisition, because to live a life where you can actually pay for things, pay your bills, pay your car rentals, go traveling, you can't afford to be on this flywheel where you're like, oh, okay, I hope I get a reply, right? I hope I get someone to reply to me, okay? So let me guess, your business looks a little bit like this at the moment. So you're sending cold outreach that get simply no replies. And I just wanted to show a little little graph of some of the worst cold outreach experiences that I've seen. 1,000 cold DMs, 0 calls booked. Owen sent 1,400 cold messages and 0 positive replies. Milo told to literally fuck off in a DM. And this is just simply because online service-based businesses have been pushed for such a long time, where you really can't expect anyone, a prospect, to have that mindset where they're at least kind of open if you're pitching in a certain way. Now, I know a lot of you I've seen a lot of your scripts, because a lot of you message me, and it's going to become very, very difficult for you. It's going to be very, very difficult for you in that continuous way.
So posting organic content that also seems to be getting 0 inbound leads. So a lot of you are following the right structure of like, okay, I need inbound leads. I need people to come to me, but you still can't really dial that in, okay? A lot of people are struggling with how to do that. You're still getting no traffic to your shorts. And there is a simple framework that when we sort of go over it, you understand of, okay, maybe that does make more sense of why no one cares about me or what I'm trying to sort of say. You're going to have a high churn rate and get bullied on price. If you're looking at your offer now, can it be replaced by AI? Can it be replaced by a freelancer undercutting you? Is that the life that you want to live? Constantly pushing down your prices, making sure that you can keep your clients be like, oh no, I'll lower my prices even further until you're at a point where you're probably losing money for each one of your clients.
And you want to know the scariest thing about that diagram? The diagram that goes from, okay, a 1K, that's your service, to another agency going 900, another going 800, AI saying I'll do it for free, is that the rest of the market looks like this, right? And when I put this in kind of a diagram, you can really see how dangerous this looks, right? For example, all of you are probably just this little black diagram right now, and then you're saying $800 Facebook ads, $400, 100 appointments guaranteed, 5 free shorts, a month's free shorts, and it's like, really analyze whether you're playing a game you can truly ever win. Okay, because I know when I was in a situation where I didn't have any money and I was just simply, hoping this SMA thing would work, but I didn't really know. I wish I could go back in time and tell myself then you were playing a game you simply couldn't win. It was not due to the fact that you just hadn't been in the game long enough. You're not doing enough outreach messages. Like if you look at your favorite guru, when you tell him, hey, why am I not seeing results? They just say to you, send more outreach messages, right? You can put in the chat whether you've ever had that kind of interaction. They're like, send more outreach messages, but it's truly a bit different than that, okay? And that is the market you're technically trying to sell it like now, right? Like I said, when I was trying to run Facebook ads, I was playing a game I couldn't even mathematically win. That's so dangerous. And the answer, stop copying what you're told. Instead, copy what people aren't doing, right? So what is everyone else doing? If we look at the biggest people within the industry right now, Iman Gadzi, warm leads 3.7.2 million, average reach per day 1.2 million, MRR 3 million a month, or whatever it is. Same with Luke Belmar, same with Jordan Welsh. So now I know there's a lot of people sitting there right now thinking, but I can't blow up like them. You're missing the point. The point is Iman Gadzi used to be no one, but he's compounded leverage over time to get to a point where he can make 3, 4, I don't know what he makes, right? 5 million a month, right? So it's not the fact of, I'm not telling you right now that you need to blow up right now and you're going to get a ton of inbound leads. You need to at least start dialing in or compounding the inputs over time, which are actually going to allow you to build a 6-figure, 7-figure community, network with high-level individuals. Because when you go into networking, you'll understand that you will never be able to network with someone if you ain't no one, right? If you're going to want to shake someone's hand and get in the right rooms, you're going to need to be a someone. That's the harsh reality.
So what is the Ascendance creator model that we're sort of talking about and going into? What is this sort of SMA 2.0 and how can you sort of leverage it to your advantage? So let's go into this here. If we back out of this,
go into a free training for you guys.
So if we go into this training that we've built out, we can go into becoming an Ascendance creator in 2024. So the best way to start off with this is probably the goal. So our goals here are attracting dream high-ticket clients coming to us, nurture and educate, allowing an easy acquisition process. There's no stress, there's no hassle, collecting prospects info so we can always retarget and come back to them, collect data, and then obviously scale.
And we'll start with the offer itself when becoming an high-ticket thriving agency owner. And the loop that a lot of people are getting stuck in at the moment is they're getting stuck on a supply X demand ratio kind of offer, right? Where essentially all that's happening is the supply is going up so much, so the demand is going down. Sometimes you need to stop looking at SMMA cold email advice and just simply look at business principles. Across every single business in the entire world, if the supply is shooting up, the demand for your service is going down. And what's this going to result in? Well, it's going to result in higher churn rate because your clients don't want your service because they can go to this person, they can go to this person, and you're also going to be forced to charge low ticket. The danger of charging low ticket, guys, is that you can't go take that cash flow, invest it into whether it's ads, different team members, you can name it, right? Instead, you want to be on the right side where essentially there's no down, the only up is the leverage. Okay, this is super, super important. Now, the micro variables of leverage in this case is, for example, your results, your case studies, and your personal branding, right? By leveraging a unique system. And all that's going to happen is they're going to charge high ticket and you're going to dominate your market no matter what niche you're in. We've got clients dominating in email marketing, right? Niches that, you shouldn't be able to win in. So you want to really, really make sure that you aren't a supply to demand ratio. Now, a lot of gurus will tell you that even on this supply and demand ratio, if you're at 5K per month, that's brilliant, which is, it's okay, like looking in, but let's think long term, right? Even if you're at 5K per month, AI is going to become stronger and eventually zero, right? Because you can't pay, and then you can't pay bills, you can't do any things you want to do, right? So analyze whether, because you always need to be thinking long term, right? You cannot be thinking short term, otherwise it's going to be a very, very long day for you, right?
So if we go into firstly the winning offers, as you probably know, the market has changed. Offering, let's say, 30 pieces of short form content, like Luke was just saying, AI can take it over, freelancers can do that. You're going to be out of the market at some point. So we need to make sure that we're actually running with winning offers right now. And we've sort of tailored it towards a lot of content and stuff like that, because I assume most of you guys in here are running content agencies. This is sort of the winning system on how not to go broke and how we even were leveraging these exact offers to scale to 15K a month, to network with really high value people, because we were bringing on 8, 7, 6-figure entrepreneurs because our offer was so valuable to the market, and it's still the same principles today. So if I get into the first one, this is one that we were running, we were building the content infrastructure, placing it into a business, and then managing it for a low MRR. Now, the reason why this works so great, and the reason why we sort of started doing this back in sort of February time, is because we thought, why would anyone sit on a retainer business model and pay for it every single month when they know the next month, if I left or if they stopped paying for my service or something went wrong, their whole business crumbles like that, right? So they want either two systems. So what I like to call the build and release is you build and release the team, cool, and you can manage it, whatever, right? But what we can also do is have a build and release offer, but we can also, if we have the leverage and authority, which some of you in here may even have that, if you have the inbound lead funnel and you have content and sort of nurture assets behind you, you can then go and run coaching and teach the actual system behind the offer that you place in. So you can either place it for a one-time fee. We've had sort of clients place stuff for like 8, 10, 14K. Place it into businesses, the team. So this can be, let's say, a long form editor, short form editor, a growth specialist into the team. This can even be media buyers, and they can go that route to sort of add the acquisition process within it. But once they build that team, they release it, and then they can just have either themselves at the very start, or they can start hiring creative directors, or again, more growth specialists to just look over each part of the team, make sure that everyone's doing what they're doing. And then you can have that low MRR on the back end to, okay, pay us 500 to $1,000 a month to just look over the systems. And every time that someone leaves your business, so let's say a long form editor leaves their business, we can replace it for $250. This means you always have cash flow. The person that you're working with is happy because they're not paying monthly retainers forever. And if you leave, they still have the team. That's completely fine. Okay. And this is exactly what we were doing to scale us to 15K a month. Now, another amazing offer right now is just a content acquisition system. With where everything is going within the market, there is not someone that isn't doing content and doesn't understand how valuable content is anymore. If you see the people making the most money in the markets, how much content do they have? How much do they invest in the content, which we need to and we can take advantage of, right? A lot of people can create this content, but they're still broke in what they do, right? They can't monetize it. I've spoke to a lot of people that even have, let's say, communities, or they have a massive following behind them, even people that have, let's say, 30,000 followers, 40, 50, 100, right? Who can barely make 5 to 10K a month because they don't understand the same things that you and I understand, right? They don't understand that SMMA business model on what we can do. So building out winning offers such as directing traffic towards either a community. What we can also do is direct it to Instagram. We can have growth specialists on their Instagram, Facebook, inside their Discord. We can even run ads. We've got a client right now who's running ads on the back of the content to make sure that it converts. So then every single time that someone follows off the back of the content going out, there's a retarget ad straight to them to make sure that they can then go and convert. So it's about always making your client more money, but being unique with it. A lot of people have content acquisition systems that are all the same, literally all the same. They'll do 30 shorts, they'll direct you to a Discord, and then hopefully either they convert or they'll put a VA in there, right? If you change that system and have, let's say, a booking call form, so when someone does follow you off of the content, you run ads, a retargeting ad to them to fill out a lead form, fill out a free training or something like that. Then you can have triage callers. Then you can have growth specialists to go message them, to go call them, to actually go and book them on a call. Something that's unique, something that actually works, and something that's winning in the market. If you went and pitched that to someone, they would say, you know what, that sounds like an amazing idea. And more than likely, you're going to sign, right? And again, you can monetize through percent off of deals, and it's a lot easier if you do, let's say, a setup fee for the team that you place, or the infrastructure that you do, let's say it's the shorts, the long form, they can pay for that every single month. But on the back end, you will probably make more money if you work off a percent basis, because the proportion is unlimited depending on what clients that you're working with, depending on their ad budgets. And let's say you go with that offer, you can make so much more money running with that offer than, let's say, if we just did a standard retainer. It also makes them not really trust in you, what you do, because if you're not going to charge percent or like performance fees, then does your thing actually work? Do you not want to make more money? There's no incentive for you to actually go on with.
100%. I think that's such a strong offer within the market right now, just because of the performance fees and what you can actually do for your client, right? So, for example, we need to start by building. Yeah. Right, cool. So if you're trying to work with coaches or med spas or gyms, you're going to be eaten alive with sharks with more leverage and cash flow. So the mistake a lot of agency owners are doing in the market right now is they're looking at the top dog, they're looking at the biggest dog in the industry, they're analyzing which niche they are targeting, and they're copying the same infrastructure, they're copying the same framework as that person, yet you don't understand that they are a shark in the industry and you're a fish, even maybe a breadcrumb, right? Because they're operating under more leverage, under more cash flow, and they're investing their capital into different processes within their business. Okay, so if you're looking at something like team coaches, career coaches, for example, we need to create leverage in these micro niches to build and grow. So for example, if for right now you're going after coaches and consultants, or I know a lot of you are right now, but you're a fish in this niche, you should be going after niche down. So for example, career coaches, wellness coaches, mindset coaches, team coaches, build that leverage, and then you can go more broad. The problem with going very, very broad at the start, like I said, is that you just are fish competing in a shark market. For example, if you are technically selling a coaching program for online coaches, or an agency service which still acts like a as like a program, you help online coaches, but you've done nothing yourself, it's going to become very, very difficult for you to scale. You need to go into these niches and then build leverage, and then you can expand. I truly believe that many agency owners are like trying to do the most leverage thing first at step one, when at step, well, you're trying to go to step 10, but you're at step 1. You cannot copy someone else's step 7 when you're at step 1. It's the biggest mistake that you're possibly making within the market. So from one oversaturated niche, we can go into a blue ocean and niches and actually start to scale. For example, if you were to position your front end marketing like you just help wellness coaches, you just help career coaches, instead of, hey, I help online coaches, because in reality, you're competing with people like myself and Harvey. Right? Because we go broad, because we have the leverage now, because we can afford to, right? So really analyze whether you're going too broad at the moment, and try and go into these micro niches and niche within the actual niche itself. Okay. Now, if we go into traffic is the most important variable and asset when it comes to marketing, because if we have no attention, then we have no lead flow. And if we have no lead flow, then we have zero cash flow. Okay. So you need to build the system, and how the system works is a 4-step process of 1, gathering attention, converting this attention into a community, and collecting their info. And that's really important as well, collecting data on your audience itself. If you don't understand how your audience thinks, their price points, their pain points, then you're never going to be able to tailor your marketing towards those specific individuals. And once we have them in the community, once we've collected info, so whether this is from a free training or you put them into a Facebook group and you just ask them on the Facebook form, what's your biggest struggles? What's your biggest constraints, right? And then going in and messaging those people based on what they've told you. Okay, so that's taking a step towards you. From there, we can educate and nurture, and then we can monetize that attention. That is the cool part, right? From monetizing, we can take a step back and reinvest back into the business, guys, okay? If we look at companies, biggest companies in the world like Amazon, Jeff Bezos wasn't profitable after 9 years. What can this tell you, and what can we infer as young, inspiring entrepreneurs looking up to big, sharp companies like that? Well, you need to reinvest into your systems. And if you aren't reinvesting, then you're simply going to be stuck whilst your competition goes up and up and up. And myself and Harvey have been doing this for over a year now. We've been compounding leverage on our YouTube platform for over the year, being able to scale to a 3.6, I think I'm on 7K subscribers now, Harvey a little bit more as well, by utilizing different ad strategies and going from there, right? From this organic content, obviously as well, utilizing Instagram as well to grow. Instagram is a fantastic kind of asset you need to start building up. both of us doing this and both of us utilizing the same system.
And then once we sort of have that organic traffic, for a lot of you out there, you probably want something more predictable that will actually make sure that you get clients. Now, this is converting more from having that traffic, trying to go that way and sort of doing cold outbound to full ads, full content, full inbound lead system, where, as you can see here, this was £25 spend every single day, and I'm getting 104 link clicks, 124, 118, 106 of people interested in what I'm talking about and coming to follow my page to hopefully then sign on as a client. So you can see here, it increases the views and goes from there. So we need to firstly build that sort of base level foundation. So I know a lot of you guys in here are currently building that, making sure that you have that foundation of results, leverage, testimonials. You already have a back-end content systems, like I say here, sales assets and back-end system, because if you don't, no one's going to end up following you because they just don't care. Once we have that dialed in, we can just 10x the system with ads. We can put in X amount, get out X amount, and like it says here, I can put in 100, get out 1,000, and then you just reinvest back into the system. And that's when you can really start scaling. So a lot of you out there watching this right now are in that base level foundation. So once you start building up, getting the more leverage, getting the more sales assets, you can then get to a point where you say, okay, I'm now ready with ads. And once you go heavy and you go full in on ads, it's pretty much impossible to go back to zero because it's a predictable and consistent sort of acquisition system.
Yeah, 100%. And all these content assets combined have given us a 1.5+ million reach. So you can kind of analyze how much lead nurturing, how much lead flow that is bringing our business every single day and making sure we have that sales asset nurture on the back end. So as you can see here, one thing that we can do is actually build a community. Now, a lot of people don't think, and they don't, they're not innovative and they don't think to build a community. But what we're doing here is essentially building a warm ecosystem of prospects. You need to be able to wake up every single day inside of your business and think, how can I start a conversation with a warm lead in my ecosystem? And if that's not happening every single day, then the likelihood and the probability, just based on the science of the universe, is extremely low for you to sign a client because simply no one is interested. So as you can see here, linking people to your free Facebook group or your free Discord community, whatever niche you are in, there is an audience who wants the value you can provide. Whether you are targeting real estate agents, why aren't you building the biggest Facebook group full of real estate agents looking to scale online? If you're targeting real estate investors, whatever it is, right? You need to build a warm ecosystem every single day. So essentially what you're doing is you're getting eyeballs and you're owning the attention. There's a difference between getting attention and owning that attention, right? You can get eyeballs on your offer, on your results, on your content. Like I said, so you can educate and nurture and client close, right? And if you are in a position right now where you possibly been watching myself and Harvey for a couple of months now and nothing has changed within inside of your business, is because you haven't leveraged mechanisms like a community that builds leverage over time. The problem with cold outreach is that you don't essentially build leverage. You're just firing on the day, right? It doesn't compound over time. It doesn't really get easier over time based on just doing cold outreach. You need to actually build things around your business that is actually going to get lead flow over time.
Yeah, so, and a lot of you as well are definitely having problems with your Instagram outreach and converting prospects. I know some of you have sent over a few messages that you've obviously received, and some of them are painful to see. As you can see here, using this sort of method and leverage, we can close and book calls in 4 messages instead of having to go back and forth, begging for them to hop on a call. It's an easy, they get on and we close straight away. This was probably one of the easiest sales calls of my life because they were just so warm already because they'd seen our content, they'd seen the traffic system, and then sort of come in, they've seen the sales assets, and now they're a warm lead. And this doesn't just have to happen for sort of organic content. If you outreach to someone and they come on your page and you've got sales assets everywhere to be seen, they're going to be a lot warmer than the people that you come on board. There's no results, there's no nothing. You're just sitting there in front of a camera saying sort of commoditized value, right, that everyone's already said. It's never going to work. So as you can see here, cold DM, conversate for hours, follow up 10 times, get blocked or airs, and 100 messages, 0 replies. So if you do make the content, you're going to skip all of these steps and just go to educate and nurture and close. right? So it's a lot more of a simple framework that you can go through, and this is how it works. So firstly, we have the proof of concept. So the sales assets that we have, this can be leveraged in highlights, it can be results, it can be client interviews, whatever it is. Always making sure that you guys are getting the best results for your clients is the best way to scale, because you can't fake that. You can't lie about getting the best results. So make sure you dial that in and build that out. Educating your prospects on your content, so giving them value, making sure they understand what you do, how you can solve their constraints, nurture them. And this is, again, just more content going over maybe to the YouTube, maybe free training, something like that. Rising pain, so making sure that they understand that other people are winning, they're not winning, and it needs to be solved, and then giving them the solution to that pain, right? And then a call to action to obviously go and book in a call.
Awesome. So as well as that, having a free training, having some sort of free lead magnet you can leverage in your marketing to get those warm leads onto your offer itself. As you can see here, we have a free 5-day to 30K month training. If you haven't already opted in, I really, really recommend you do that. But what you can also do from this, not only get prospects educated on what you're talking about, sell them and convey the beliefs that you have and that would really benefit your service. You can also see here, we have total records. We have total, an ecosystem of warm leads of 1,271 people. Now, from here, what we can do is we can implement a triage caller to call all of these leads. For example, we have a commission-based triage caller. So if you opt into the free training, if you opt into any of our things, you're going to get a call saying, hey, how was the training? I hope it provided a ton of value. Let me ask you a few questions to see where you're currently at and whether you can book a call. So as you can see, you can position so many sales assets and so many different ways to convert clients that it's going to be inevitable for you to book daily sales calls instead of just saying, if Instagram outreach doesn't work, I get no clients. If any of you listening to this right now are in a position where if I was to shut down Instagram outreach or to shut down Facebook outreach from your business, there would be no way for you to get a client. Your company is in serious danger. That's why myself and Harvey at mobileclients.io have these different mechanisms when it comes to triage callers, different appointment sets, different growth specialists, because you need different forms of client acquisition, okay? And then also SMS text, right? If the call is not answered, the triage caller will simply send over a text message, right? How did you enjoy the free training? Are you looking for more value? Here's another YouTube video. Here's another this, here's another that. Or are you looking to see if we can guarantee you 15 clients or whatever your guarantee is? So having and positioning those different kind of ways to convert clients in the form of a triage caller, and then obviously as well having a 20-step email process, right? By providing value, identifying the pain of your audience. And that's why it's so important to collect that info so you can have data on who your audience is, what their pains are, so you can identify it, heighten FOMO and scarcity, then obviously sell. And we have a 20-step email process in place, so clients are just getting automations after prospects are just getting automations after automations after automations, again introducing another acquisition channel into our business. You want to have 7-8 ways for you to actually sign clients, even if it's on the back end, even if it's on a little level as such as emails, right? Because if it's not going to convert them, it's going to nurture them further, right? So by having ads, by having the VSL in place, by having the community into a triage caller, and then like Harvey said, amplifying the entire system with ads. And when you guys are truly at that point, you won't need to panic anymore. Like there's no, the stress that you're feeling right now of like, I just wish someone would reply to my message, is totally gone when you build that initial foundation, and then you can simply amplify the entire process with ads.
Yeah, so then once that is all collected, we have their email, we have their SMS, they're a warm prospect, we own the attention, and there's a report and solution. It's pretty much impossible for you not to sign a client. A lot of you definitely probably look at your agency and you probably think, why am I not signing clients? And hopefully that is a sort of overview of like the reason why you're not, right? If you're just trying it once and you'll say, okay, I'm gonna send this one cold DM to this one prospect on one platform and see if it works, it's probably not going to, right? So making sure that you do have that dialed in what you're actually doing is key to get that close. So that is it for the Lucid. If we go back onto the slideshow, we can sort of carry on with this.
So if you're still not convinced whether this process works itself, we're going to show you a few other more kind of success stories. So Luca going from 0 to 6K per month, which is super, super cool. Matt signing 2 clients in his first week, and us had a nice little dinner out in London with Matt, and which was all cool. Ryan going from 0 to 5K a month as well in his first month, which is super, super cool. And now ultimately you have 2 choices after digesting the entire process. Understanding you need to diversify your client acquisition channels in order to scale. You either slave away 14-hour days sending thousands of cold DMs, We're on zero profit margins, zero life in general, just enjoyment of the world, zero clients, and overall a failed business, right? Or you can become an action taker and start building the right systems in place in order to have a successful business. So, go on.
Yeah, so for the action takers, like we said at the start of the video, we do have something for you, something that you could definitely be interested in and probably help you scale a lot better than, again, like we just went over, sending cold DMs, getting blocked, getting told even to fuck off at some points. It's going to be a lot easier going this way. So we understand many of you are stuck in SMA 1.0. You're following advice from 2019, 2018, 2020 that just isn't fit for the market today, right? If you were following advice, old medical advice, let's say, you probably wouldn't want that doctor operating on you, because more than likely you'd probably end up dying, right? And that is the exact same with your business. If it's not the right systems, not the right foundations, and it's not up to date, you're going to end up losing.
Yep, 100%. So we also understand many of you truly want to change, finally find a scalable high ticket offer and leverage an actual good offer pricing model and sign clients predictably and add and access highly valuable networks. And that's why all of you have decided to come to this webinar today. You invested into yourself. You go above and beyond. There's a lot of people, your competitors, who looked at my story call to actions or whatever it was, then just said, nah, I'll do it another day, or perhaps it's not going to be so good. I'm not really interested in the value. But you decided to actually show up for yourself, but be here today, stay on the call. And so that shows that you truly want to change into your investment, into your growth. And therefore, we're reopening the private agency network that was locked at 100 members because we wanted to keep it private. We wanted to keep it valuable, but we're reopening the private agency network because we understand that there's so many people who are essentially leveraging a model that you can't win. Yeah. There's just that, even if you go to 5K, you're going to go back down to zero. And many of you on this call right now were probably at one point at 5K per month, but then you went back down to zero, possibly, right? So we're reopening the private agency network.
Yeah, right? How's it going, bro?
Yep.
I wrote down a few questions that I thought I'd quickly ask. One of them is kind of a limiting belief, but I feel like I can't make that community just based on like my audience size and my age.
Yeah, well, this is a problem that a lot of people have, and it just holds them back from what they're doing. I'm not going to lie, everyone has the same limiting beliefs as you. Even we, when we first started, when I first started and when we made the community and we started posting on YouTube, I was 17. I was like, I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the mindset. What you need to do whenever limiting beliefs come up, and this is my sort of action game plan whenever I have it, a limiting belief is just holding me back because I don't believe in myself yet. So I just have to go and take action. If you make that community, you start driving traffic towards it and giving actual value, people are going to be happy with you. If it doesn't matter about your age, it doesn't matter about your audience size, people are going to start rolling in. And if you, like I spoke to you before, you know what you're talking about. If you can give that actual value, people are going to be happy because you may probably know a lot more than people that are maybe 25, 30 in the sort of SMA game. So using it and just going for it is probably my advice, because it is a very, very good way. And it's a way that you're going to always own that attention. And maybe over time, maybe you have a video do very well. Over the next 6 months to a year, you're going to have thousands of people in that community. And you're going to be like, thank God I started it now, because if it's not now, when would you think of starting it?
I would say that the reason why you have the self-limiting belief in the first place is because you've simply just set a high standard, right? You wouldn't have the self-limiting belief if you thought that you were going to build a community, you were going to get thousands of people in, and you were going to start, closing high ticket. So to eliminate that self-limiting belief, just lower the standard you have yourself, right? There is no disadvantage to just launching some sort of community or some sort of sales asset now, so you can, start building leverage for that in the future. So just lower the standard and the kind of expectation for yourself and, a community, or whether it's a free training, whatever it is, go just start building leverage for it now and go from there. I want to also say, guys, that if you have any questions, I know a lot of people about struggling with cold outreach. We said that cold outreach isn't so effective in long term, but for you guys to sign your first clients, 100% it is effective. You just need to know the right scripts, the right methods, even if you have zero and you have nothing, you have no results.
Definitely.
So I hope that answers your question then.
Yeah, so I mean that did answer it. I'll do that. Is it like, I was thinking about how would I get traffic to it? And I was thinking maybe I should broaden out my content strategy, because right now it's really specific. But I was thinking like just going into like, okay, I went an entire year with no results. here's what I did differently. You know, I paid $700 and this is the most valuable thing I learned
Yeah,
and stuff like
definitely.
that.
A lot about a community is people buying into you. So stuff like you just said there, giving your own personal experience is really great to do. Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was just talking about different content strategy. Yeah, for sure. And what you'll see in this industry is a lot of people just essentially commoditizing content because they're saying the same stuff, right? Content will always do so much better if it's, for example, your experience. So I would definitely look at, diversifying your content, diversifying your topics, and yeah, for sure, going from there. And overall, just targeting that specific individual that you help.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I guess when you were talking earlier about like getting results, I definitely resonate with that because a lot of the videos I make for me and my clients don't perform well, even when everything about them is like perfect. Like the hook is really good, the value is really there, and they still don't perform.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's just all about having the right fulfillment process, right? And making sure that you're actually selling something that converts. You always need to be selling something that actually gets the results, right? That's why me and Harvey always suggest people who are selling, 30 pieces of short form content to take that offer, add conversion mechanism onto it, sell a community. So you're actually selling something that works, right? Because a lot of people are just, for example, using their own viral knowledge when they haven't gone viral and then implementing shorts for that, right, was obviously not going to do too well. That's just how the world works, right? So making sure that you have that back-end fulfillment, whether it's hiring different team members at the start, myself and Harvey, we've delivered so much short form content, but we've never edited a short.
No.
But right, because we've just gone straight to the fulfillment specialist.
Okay, and do you teach how to build up like case studies in the private agency network too?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a big part of it. Leveraging, case studies, leveraging results, how to actually get your initial results, even if you have no results, even if you have no, you need to do free trials, how to convert it, etc. So yeah, for sure, there's gonna be a ton of value in there for a pretty snipe the price right now. But yeah.
Yeah, all right. I DM'd you on both
Right.
of you on Instagram, so
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
that's all my
get back
questions.
to it.
Cool, no worries. Ashpreet said, what does the program include, like building an inbound funnel or running different ad creators, or is it just a basic course? So basically, this is going to go through everything that you need to know to start scaling your agency. So yes, inbound funnels is part of it, sort of ads is part of it, knowing sort of everything about running an agency from A to Z, so the offer, the mindset, the niches, everything like that to start getting you running, making sure you're building that leverage and start sort of leveraging what we've just gone over. And sort of implement it yourself. Just more of a deeper dive into that and more of us going over a little bit more sort of in depth.
Yeah, 100%. And also how to just get off the ground if you are beginning, how to start utilizing actual good cold outreach methods that actually are more like warm outreach methods.
Yeah.
How to send over great sales assets, what to put in those sales assets, and overall how to amplify it with ads. So if anyone has any other questions, just unmute your mic. And
yeah, as someone said, if we pay $200 now, how long will we remain? People that joined SMA 1.0, sorry, not SMA 1.0, Private Agency Network 1.0 are still a part of that community. That was just a community that stayed there. They still keep all the value that they get for a lifetime access.
So someone else said, what would you say is the best offer for clothing brand? I'm getting barely any replies from the cold DMs. I could probably assume, obviously I don't know you, but I could probably assume that you're just selling something very commodity based. Whatever niche you're going into, if you package a great offer, whether it's a build and release, whether it's a growth partner offer, you can actually start providing a different unique value for clothing brands. For example, analyze the constraints of a clothing brand, whether this is their pricing model, whether this is their email follow-ups, whether this is making sure that everyone that added an item to cart got an automation, all that type of stuff. Now you might be thinking, what if I don't run an email marketing offer? That is not the point. The point is that you're tackling all the constraints. Obviously, I don't really know what your offer is. You've just said that you target what would you say the best offer is? Sorry, so I didn't see that. For clothing brands, so like I said, like I just said, analyzing how you can implement Facebook ads, email marketing, all that type of stuff for a clothing brand would be very, very good. Someone else asked, so about niching down, The other advice is to niche down even more than just helping coaches. I help personal coaches do, for example, as well. Yeah, for sure. So what you need to understand when you are operating under a low leverage point, and this is why for MultiplyClients.io, our agency, when clients come on board, the first thing we do is analyze the leverage, right? Because, for example, we can't start implementing strategies that someone at step 10 would use when you're at step 1. This is why myself and Avi, when we started off in our content agency, we were sending TikTok personalized VSLs to their emails from TikTok. We were doing anything we could to start building leverage. And when you, for example, target coaches and consultants, when you have such a broad audience, when you go into such a broad audience, you're competing against genuine shops. Myself and Harvey work with online coaches. You're technically competing against us, right? But if you were to just become a master in mindset coaches, whatever it is at the moment, you would start seeing results because that is who you are. That is your branding. That is what you send the outreach message to be. That is what you're overall going to be doing. But if you were just to say, hey, I help online coaches, and then I come along and say, hey, I help online coaches, then it's not really going to be a great value proposition, right? How to identify new niches, because most of us don't realize an opportunity unless someone makes a video on it, and eventually you get to really saturate and gain the most market share. Well, first of all, you have to understand what an opportunity is. An opportunity is mainly driven from money, right? People want money, your clients want money, they want payments, they want you to bring them more revenue, okay? So instead of looking at a new opportunity, and this is probably a mistake, like I said, this is a great example of you looking at gurus on YouTube, what's the best offer, and going from there, when instead you need to look at, okay, what are the genuine problems for people, okay? What are the upcoming markets? And you guys are in a fantastic market. Content creation, monetizing through communities, monetizing big creators, audiences is where you want to be in the future, I personally believe. So you need to go what's going with the future. For example, there's a lot of AI offers, which are very, very good. Software has become very, very popular, but you shouldn't be just simply going off, okay, what has the YouTuber said, and go from there, right? Thank you. Appreciate it. So I used to DM every type of online coach, but only signed a few people in the trading niche. What do you expect? What do you want me to, or what do you suggest me doing next? I've got one client, I'm managing an Instagram account for him. Okay, so perfect. So if you've sent a lot of outreach, you've collected a lot of data. Okay, out of the data that you've collected, which niches were the best and which niches performed the best when you were going and messaging them, right? Was it realtors? Was it trading coaches? Whatever it is, and just go for that, build up leverage, and then go broad when you can afford to. The problem is at the start, like I said, if you have no results and you're coming to a broad niche, like for example, just online coaches, right? I help any online coach, you're always going to be eaten up by sharks, okay? So I feel like it's tough to consistently find 100 to 200 leads in some niche. Any advice? Well, it depends obviously where you're looking. Different people hang out in different areas. For example, if you're targeting real estate agents, they're going to be on Facebook. If you're targeting more broad online coaches, they're going to be on Instagram. So you need to make sure that you're actually leveraging the right people. I'd also say start getting into different type of communities. A lot of people are just not where they need to be to find prospects. When, for example, me and Harvey were, deep into our content agency in the point that we didn't have anything. We had like 100 followers. We didn't even have any personal brand content. And we were, trying to go out there. You need to understand that people aren't just going to be on the base service of like Instagram. You need to go into communities, etc.
How is your company structured 50-50? Yeah, so it's not technically 50-50 because we pretty much do everything together. I don't know if you do have a business partner. If you do, you need to make sure that the dynamic is you're going to pay for everything together, right? When we come out here, it's not like Luke's going to come by himself when he's sort of own money. It doesn't make any sense for him to go and do that. As for the tax situation, worry about it once you get there. You can always get an accountant. That's what we did. We were building money, we were getting money in and sort of building that leverage. And then we just hired an accountant to take care of it for us. So I wouldn't worry about it just yet. The legal system, especially if you are talking about the UK, is very fine. We had like 10, 20, 30K in the bank before we even thought about paying taxes. And then you can go and do it because you just pay off your last tax roll. It's very simple to do. They're not trying to put you in prison. So if you are worried about it, don't worry about it. Just wait till you actually get there. You look up, hire an accountant. It's very simple to do.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm also doing content for trading guys, and I've signed 2 of the business. Perfect. Well, what I would do there is go, and if this is a question, I would definitely try and get some results, testimonials off the back of them. Germany, like I thought they really should put you in prison for real. In Germany, I'm not too sure on sort of the tax laws. The UK is a little bit easier. I would definitely try and ask someone about that. If you can try and find an accountant in your area or someone like that, where you can just ask them the actual questions, because online everything seems a lot worse than it is. If you type up, I've got a lump here, it's probably they'll say it's cancer, a bit like tax, because they just want you to pay the money. But if you try and look for an accountant, ask him a few questions, even if you sort of pay him maybe for his time, just find out what you're doing there. So yeah, for sure, Samir, I will get that sorted in a second. And my family thinks it's a bit strange.
Yeah, no worries. You're killing it, G. And just remember, guys, we're still open for the discounted price, going from $454 to $200 per day, accessing the in-depth A to Z program modules on how you can start. So if you are like a very beginner, this will be very, very good for you. Obviously, accessing these private webinars, having these, Q&A sessions and all that type of stuff, because we're going to take a break from free ones, just focus on the people who are really, really dedicated, because it's just not worth my time, and it's not worth your time either, right? So yeah, just DM us on Instagram if you are interested in that as a whole. But yeah, we'll continue to kind of answer questions and give a ton of value anyway. But yeah, a lot of good questions there about niches. Definitely just if you leverage, then yeah, go there. So I've seen a few guys who run like NoFap and IG accounts, like a personal brand with 100 to 300K followers. Is there any way I can help them launch a NoFap offer to 18 to 30-year-olds stop NoFapping? I'm really confused with this. Yeah, 100%. So that would be a good pain to solve. So for example, right there, what Darav is talking about is by finding a high niche, finding a high, audience community. For example, someone who has 100K followers, someone who has 300K followers, and simply just going in and building them out a product to monetize, right? An audience should really, a creator that has 300K followers should really be making at least 30K per month, 50K per month. And there's a lot of creators on the market right now who simply just aren't making that money because they don't know how to monetize. They don't know sales funnels. They don't know the sales process behind it. So definitely, for sure, go in them and pitch them on the fact that not that I'm going to help you build a product. For example, don't sell the actual thing you're doing, but sell the outcome, right? For example, you have 300K followers, right? You have 100K followers, whatever it is, you could be making easily 30, 50K per month. Just monetizing the huge accounts 100%. Like I said, I probably think that's the best opportunity in the market, because you're seeing content creation just be this viral powerhouse. You're looking at people who aren't entrepreneurs, like KSI and Logan Paul, being able to build $1 billion company, right? They've built $1 billion empire just because of personal branding, just because of their content, right? So understanding how to actually go into a big audience and being able to help them monetize it. And guys, truly take a percentage. If I was to say something, take a percentage of their sales and you can get rich with the client. You don't need to be slaving on retainers. You don't need to be slaving on setup fees. What you need to be doing is building the infrastructure and then taking a percentage of that sales, right?
By the way, for the people here, I'm checking my phone. Luke hasn't checked his, but we are filling up on the 10, and then we're going to have to shut it just for the pre-sale, just so we do that. So I'm just letting you know, if you do have any questions or you do want to come and enroll, just message me or obviously Luke, and then we can get you in. If you've messaged Luke and he hasn't looked yet, you can come message me, harveywarner.mx, and then we can obviously get you enrolled as on the 10. But like I said, filling up quite quick. So that's why I'm on my phone. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. Hopefully Luke's giving you the value.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, I'm open for you guys to speak in the chat as well. I can't see like who's in here, but if anyone wants to speak like one-to-one.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yep.
Go for it, Liam. Go
All
for
good,
it.
you go.
I say like Liam's already had a few questions, so
Yeah, you go.
All right, perfect. So I'm running a short form content agency at the moment. It's been, I'd say, about 5 months. I've had 1 or 2 clients here and there. And I've been through a phase where I'm outreach every day, slaving away, and I'm just not seeing, do you know what I mean? Not really seeing results. I've got an Instagram, no real personal brand.
Yeah.
What would you say the first steps, like a step I can start right this second after this webinar? What would you say the first step would be to sort of structure myself to maybe 5K a month?
Okay, cool. So setting the goal at 5K per month. Well, first I'd start understanding what you're doing, like the roadmap that you're going under, and you're going for, and whether that's actually a sustainable way to do it in 2024, right? The short form content offer has adapted so much to a point where a lot of people are backtracking on old content, which isn't really relevant for today's day and age. The first advice I always give new agency owners coming in is really analyzing whether they're looking at wrong content, whether they're looking at wrong advice, right? For example, if you are trying to just outreach and just with, hey, I'll edit some shorts for you, it's going to become very difficult for you to do that. So the first thing I would say is try and build a unique offer. It all starts with your offer. If we analyze how you're going to sign clients, how they're going to get value, how you're going to start to deliver, and how you're actually going to get paid a ton of money, right, which is your goal, obviously, it comes down to the offer. It absolutely comes down to the offer. So I would start, I really believe there's a huge opportunity for adding different mechanisms onto a content offer, and you're going to see such greater success. The reason why you're slaving away, the reason why no one's replying is obviously a mixture of different variables and different things. But overall, it's because you're selling something that everyone else has sold. Let's not act like this is rocket science in any sense. You're just selling something that I could go and do, my little cousin could go and learn, and thinking that's gonna actually be predictable and consistent. If you want to scale to 5K, that can really be done with 2 clients. That can really be done with 1 client with the right offer. So the first thing I would say is start analyzing whether you're simply playing a game you can't win. Right? You've been doing it for 5 months. Is it just the fact of, oh, I need to send more cold outreach, and maybe that's the problem? Or is it the fact that you maybe need to pivot? All right. So myself and Harvey have done that a ton of times. For example, we had a regular short form content offer. It was stuck around 8 to 9, and we decided to add different mechanisms onto it, like appointment setting and community building. Straight away found success. Right. So that's what I'd say. And hopefully that kind of put you in a decent direction.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
All right, man. No worries at all. Well, I haven't checked my phone yet, and I'm not going to, so I'm probably going to pick my favorites out of the lot. But awesome, man. Yeah, if anyone else has any more questions, I'm more than happy to answer. And obviously, guys, if you want more access to these kind of monthly webinars, like I said, we're probably going to be shutting them down in the sense of free ones, just because we're more focused on people who are really, putting their all into this, which I think we can all kind of appreciate and understand and respect as a whole. Because yeah, this is a hard game. It's a very lonely game. So yeah, and just by having that kind of community around you, making sure I'm pushing you, do you accept? And if anyone has any other questions, I'd love to speak to you on your current situation. Just kind of bounce back and forward, the constraints that you're having and all that type of stuff. No one.
Fair enough,
Hello,
Liam.
hello.
Appreciate you coming,
Fair enough,
man.
Liam.
It's early for you, so yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, yeah, Liam. Well, I'll see you more in the private ascendance, the private agency network community. And we'll get you in, and we'll start talking more and start looking more at that offer, looking how we can refine it, looking at your acquisition strategies, how we can start, dialing that in a little bit. And looking forward to working with you soon. No worries, man. So car payment. The webinar has been around for an hour long now. We're probably going to wrap it up now. Just any other questions would be appreciated, but no one seems to be kind of going out there.
I've got a question, if that's all right.
Oh yeah, go for
it. So obviously, adding on to the sort of short form content niche, it's obviously very saturated, right? There's plenty of people doing it. And the only real sort of diversification I've had from obviously my agency to someone else's is obviously better content. And obviously, like you said before, the first step you would take is to build sort of a better offer.
Yeah.
What could you define that a little bit more? I know it's sort of going into the sort of the paid mentorship kind of side, but could you sort of diversify that a bit more and explain actually what I could offer rather than just short form content? Because there's you know what I mean, everyone's nan and the dog's doing it, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think instead of looking first at the mechanisms you can actually add, so whether it's community building, whether it's ads, I'm giving you a few little ideas here anyway, you really need to look at the outcome, right? You need to look at the outcome of what they want. Because if you're delivering content, all you're really doing is making their shorts a little bit better, a little bit cooler. You're adding different edit styles, but are they actually getting that attention? Are they monetizing that attention? And are they making a ton of money, right? For example, someone in the chat just said your competition is freelancers that get paid $5 per short, right? What an agency is meant to go through the whole A to Z to deliver an end outcome. You are not an agency if you're just selling some sort of commodity. You need to be unique. So as well as adding different unique mechanisms, I think I'll let you kind of research that in your free time. Obviously, join the private engine network. But no, honestly, research that in your free time, because there's a ton of different things. But what you really need to understand is just the outcome of what you're trying to get, right? An agency service is a service, right? And then on top of that, framing it as a unique system, putting your own name to it, putting your own branding to it, so you cannot be oversaturated. For example, if you were to put in your bio, in your messaging, on your landing page, hey, I help entrepreneurs with short form content, right? That messaging is so oversaturated, it's going to become very, very difficult for you. So instead of looking at first, what can I add, like specific, like, is it ads? Is it appointment set? What's the outcome you want to bring? Who do you want to help? Because everyone is different. You're targeting coaches and consultants, right?
See, that's the thing. I've not really sort of targeted a certain person.
I would start there, right? Because
yeah.
there's a lot of people that can niche to people, creators who are above 20K. If you were to send a message, this is a little bit of source for everyone. Hey, I help influencers who are above 20K, doing around, doing less than 10K per month, build out a scalable product. Would you be interested in me sending them a video on how I help these people? Right? What have we done here? Well, we targeted specific people. You are an authority for a specific person, right? You help people with 20K followers, not only build better content, but monetize. That's instantly going to become so much better than you targeting any online coach and saying, hey, do you want some better reels?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that makes sense. And obviously, that's the thing. My main outreach method has always been go on Instagram, explore, and just, it can go from anywhere from podcasts to Forex traders. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. Always,
perfect.
Always going to be different.
Thank you for the response, man.
No worries.
I think yeah, we're pretty much filling up now. So if you want to sort of grab the last few, obviously message myself or Luke. It's either harveywarner.mx or lukejackson.mx, and then obviously we can get you enrolled as one of the last spots. But I think we'll probably wrap up there. Hopefully you guys did get enough value from this. Hopefully you enjoyed everything. Like we said, this probably won't be happening too often inside the free. We're going to be doing this a lot inside of private agency network every single month, doing stuff like this and showing you guys sort of the ropes, the ins and outs. So like I said, message us if you do have even more questions, or you are just wanting to get enrolled straight away. And then obviously on December 1st, we can all start getting going with it.
Yep. And if you guys have any questions about the product itself, not in terms of like, will I buy or will I not, just the product itself, what it's going to entail, the value provided, just shoot us a question, and yeah, we'll be more than happy to answer it and go from there. But apart from that, hope everybody enjoyed, keep hustling, and yeah, I hope we can all talk soon.